This is Tank's Vlog for September 10th, 2018, wrapping up the day in sports. It was the first NFL Sunday, and we are brought to you by Allow Me to Be Frank, the weekly podcast. Don't forget, we did last week with David Strauss of MyBookieAG and Stuart Source from the new show, Barstool Sports Advisors. The first show was on Sunday. It was terrific. Of course, Mike Francesa with the great cameo and putting the mush on me by picking the Saints. Oh, Mike, why did you have to pick the Saints as your lock of the week? Oh, there goes my survivor pick. And overall, we talk about Stu Feiner. He gives you winners, 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 and I give you losers, losers, losers. Oh, my picks. I thought going 1-5 in college this weekend was bad. Oh, God, I'm in a big hole. I thought last year I sucked at this. Looks like I'm going to suck even more this year. And the Saints, what the hell, man? Come on. How do you allow Ryan Fitzpatrick to carve you up like that? I mean, it's embarrassing. At home, no less. I mean, good game by Drew Brees. He passed for 439 yards. But Fitzpatrick, jeez. I mean, who thought he had 417 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a touchdown run in him? It's just incredible the way the Buccaneers played. And Jameis Winston is still going to get his job back when he comes back. Just think about that. The rest of the games that were the 1 o'clock games were quite interesting. Because the Miami Dolphins started at 1 and began after the Packers and Bears kicked off. 2 2-hour-long rain delays, lightning delays, very few fans left in the stadium. They were all sitting in the lower bowl at the end of the stadium and not the upper deck. And the Dolphins impressed. Titans had control of this game. They could have taken a stranglehold. I mean, they drove down the field twice, got a field goal the first time. Second time, they tried to put like a dagger into the Dolphins. And Minkah Fitzpatrick with a great open field tackle at the 2. Turnover on downs as the Titans tried to go for it. And then the Dolphins took the ball, went 98 yards, and they took the lead. And then you had a rain delay, though halftime. Fourth quarter comes along, the Titans tied the score, and right away, Dolphins answer. Dolphins answered. Nice big return by Jakeem Grant. You got a 75-yard touchdown reception from Kenny Stills. And the Dolphins with a solid, good win, patient win. The two teams scored 17 points in the fourth quarter each. It was a wild fourth quarter. I think both teams are tired. I mean, I don't think they planned to be at the stadium for 9 hours. The Browns didn't lose today. They didn't win, but they didn't lose. And Le'Veon Bell. Woo-hoo! Burning bridges one by one. Burning bridges, what he can do and it can't be undone. He's leaving Pittsburgh sooner than later as he's burning bridges more and more each day. His team just tied. His team. This is his team. He still is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Until he gets traded, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. And it looks like he's rooting against his team. James Conner had a fine game without him. 135 yards, although that fumble has kind of opened the door for the Browns, who were trailing by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. But Ben Roethlisberger, awful game. Awful game. 3 picks and 2 fumbles. 3 picks and 2 fumbles. I think Steeler fans are wishing that it was Ben Roethlisberger who was holding out. And then overtime, each team's kicker missed a kick. And we have a tie. It's the first time a Week 1 game ended in tie since 1971. What a wild game. And by the way, that Dolphin game was the longest longest game ever in terms of time because it took 8 hours from beginning to end almost 8 hours. Andrew Luck returned as the truth came out about his injury. Everybody goes surfing down the mountain. Oh no, I hurt my shoulder. I'm gonna miss the season. I'm playing a snowboard and not watching my arm. The coach should ask for some money back because he wasn't hurt on the field. And Luck played well, but the Colts are an awful team. An awful fourth quarter team. Last year they were awful in the fourth quarter. Today they allowed 17 points in the fourth quarter, and including one where they're driving to take the lead, and then you have a fumble returned all the way for a touchdown. Bengals win 34-23. It's going to be a long year for My Little Ponies. Vikings. Kirk Cousins made his debut. Played well. But it was the defense that did the job, as Jimmy Garoppolo suffered his first career loss, and the Vikings' hungry defense was the key reason why. I love the Vikings defense. I think now that they have a quarterback, I think they're now a complete team. So watch out for the Vikings. They're my pick to win the NFC this year and go to the Super Bowl. Of course, the team that always seems to be in the Super Bowl is the Patriots. And Tom Brady began his season with 3 touchdowns. And it was men against boys. I mean, the Texans played okay, but the Texans just don't have what it takes to be able to beat the Patriots, especially in Foxborough. As the final score is 27-20. As we mentioned earlier, Buccaneers over the Saints, 48-40. Giants played the Jaguars, and I like the Jaguars a lot. I like the Jaguars to actually win the Super Bowl this year. I think they have a historically good defense. But the Giants, they had their chances to win today. Except for one man. Eric Flowers, worst lineman in the NFL. Eric Flowers couldn't block a Girl Scout. Oh, Eric, your turn. And it's always the same thing. He gets spun round, round, baby, round, round, like a top baby. Round, 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 round. He gets spun round, 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 round. And then you have Miles Jack with the pick 6, and of course, look who caused it. It was someone beating Eric Flowers, and whenever there's two. You hear Eric Flowers' name more than any other offensive lineman. And when you hear the offensive lineman's name, it usually is not a good thing. Because offensive linemen are best when you don't know their name. I mean, if you know their name, chances are you're cursing their name. Because they've either got called for holding, a penalty of other sorts, or got beaten incredibly bad. And that is the case with Eric Flowers. Penalties and getting beaten very badly. Saquon Barkley, he was probably the best player of the Giants game. He had a big touchdown return to actually keep them in the game at one point. But the Giants just didn't have enough. And if Eric Flowers could have probably blocked better, they might have had a chance. The team that had the worst performance tonight was the Buffalo Bills. Oh, their coach is kind of silly that he thinks Nathan Peterman is a quarterback in the NFL. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Shuffle off the Buffalo. Shuffle off the Buffalo. There's no need to watch them win a game. They might lose 12 or more with Peterman. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Shuffle down to Buffalo. Shuffle down to Buffalo. Yes, that's right. Nathan Peterman started this game and got benched again because he stunk it up again. It was 40-0 at one point. They got a meaningless field goal in the third quarter. Got absolutely cremated by the Baltimore Ravens, 47-3. Now, the Ravens aren't that good. This Buffalo was really, really bad. Shuffle off the buffalo, shuffle off the buffalo. Philip Rivers has nightmares. And in those nightmares, goblins are coming. And they're wearing red helmets with an arrowhead and an interlocking KC on it. I mean, he passed for 424 yards and 3 touchdowns, so he had a good game overall. But boy, the Chargers, they just can't beat the Chiefs. 9th straight time Kansas City's beaten the Chargers, whether it be San Diego or Los Angeles, whatever you prefer. Tyreek Hill had a huge game, 3 touchdowns, 169 yards receiving, a big punt return, and it just Kansas City dominated. And Patrick Mahomes, he looked good. I mean, he has zip. There's a zip on his ball, a zip. I mean, he might be a little bit of a gunslinger, but boy, there's a zip on the ball. I mean, he's firing it in there. I mean, he's got one hell of an arm, and I think Mahomes is going to be a big star in this league. And I think the Bears, who picked Mitchell Trubisky last year, are going to really regret it. More on them later, but Patrick Mahomes, I think, is going to end up being the best quarterback from the 2017 draft class. Case Keenum made his debut with the Broncos, and 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But the star of the game was Von Miller, who basically looked like Yoda on Luke Skywalker's back. He was on Russell Wilson so much. I mean, and the Seahawks, they're in for a long season. They are in for a long season. That team's just disintegrated around Russell Wilson. He's about the only one that's left that's even worth anything. Speaking of teams stinking it up, the Arizona Cardinals look like they didn't even show up. They scored 1 touchdown late as the Redskins scored 21 points in the second quarter. Adrian Peterson, who played with the Cardinals last year, rushed for 96 yards. Alex Smith just finds ways to win. 255 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott had a rough day. As that Panther defense had him shut down most of the game. Cowboys did find the end zone late in the fourth quarter. Ezekiel Elliott got a touchdown and he added a 2-point conversion, but it was not nearly enough. Panthers won the game 16-8 and had a number of miscues. This could have been 30-8. And in the game of the day, Sunday Night Football, Khalil Mack just came out like his pants were on fire. He was on Rodgers nonstop. Bears crushing the Packers. Rodgers limps off the field. He has to be carried off on the cart. It looks devastating. I mean, everyone in Green Bay, they're thinking about cyanide pills, jumping off of the tallest building in Green Bay. Of course, that'll only get them injured because I think the tallest building in Green Bay is like, 4 stories? So everyone's devastated. They have a ceremony honoring the 100th season in Packers history. And what do you know? Aaron Rodgers comes out back on the field. Bears added it, make it 20-0. But Aaron Rodgers, with 3 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, including a 75-yarder to Randall Cobb. Unbelievable comeback. Bears blew a 20-0 lead. They really choked on Sunday night. Mitchell Trubisky continues to struggle. He's not a franchise quarterback. Once again, George Halas is spinning in his grave because the Bears really blew it. The Bears blew it big time. They had a chance to look really good, but instead they choked big time. Aaron Rodgers beat them on one knee. Believe it or not, baseball was still played on Sunday. The Mets, with a rainy Sunday, decided to not start. Jacob deGrom. And they won anyway. Michael Conforto had a big 3-run homer as they beat the Phillies 6-4, winning the series. And that definitely puts a hurt. It puts a hurt on Philadelphia, and that's good for me. Ding! As the Braves beat the Diamondbacks 9-4. And, boy, that really hurts the Phillies because the Braves winning too. So it's a 4-game lead. The Yankees playing out in Seattle. They lost 3-2. Dylan Betances allowed the winning run to score. And the Red Sox won on Sunday night. 6-5. The Cubs and Nationals were rained out. So they're going to have to find a way to play that game on Thursday. And so both teams, because the Cubs are independent race, not so much the Nationals. We got the Brewers beating the Giants 6-3, so they're creeping up into Central and still leading that wild card race. Could be having playoff baseball in Milwaukee. Cardinals beat Tigers 5-2. It was the Dodgers 9-6 winners over the Rockies, so they're back within a half game of first place. And of course, the Diamondbacks losing, that's very bad for Arizona. Some meaningless games. So the Padres beat the Reds 7-6. One game that wasn't meaningless was the A's beating up on the Rangers 7-3. They're getting closer and closer to sealing a playoff spot. It was the Twins in a meaningless game, 3-1 winners over the Royals. The Angels blanked the White Sox 1-0. The Rays beat the Orioles 8-3. And now Baltimore is 41-101. Blue Jays beat the Indians 6-2. And the Pirates and Marlins were rained out. Highly doubtful that they'll play this game. It will be made up October 1st if needed, but highly doubtful we need it. Today's 3 stars are Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is magical against the Saints. 417 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, also had a touchdown run. Von Miller, 7 tackles, 3 sacks, fumble, recovery, forced fumble. Andrew Heaney of the Angels only allowed 3 hits in 7 innings while striking out 12. Today's birthday shout-out goes to the big unit, Randy Johnson, who turns 55. And we take a look back 40 years ago to one of the craziest endings in NFL history. Raiders-Chargers. Raiders down 6 points because of Rolf Benerschke missed extra points. They're down 6 points with 10 seconds left on the Charger 14. And Ken Stabler gets sacked. But before going down, he flips the ball forward. A fumble. Called a fumble. Pete Banaszak batted the ball forward, which was illegal, but the refs missed it. And Dave Casper kicked it, and let it roll into the end zone where he landed on it for a touchdown in what was called the Holy Roller. This play caused an NFL rules change where a team can't recover and advance a fumble in the final 2 minutes. So check out the full story of Barstool Sports and it's Sports Encyclopedia where sports history lives. And on Monday night, we'll be watching 2 football games and recording a new episode of Allow Me to Be Frank. So keep your ears open, your eyes out, and have a good day.